macroeconomic situation is changing. When you read this, it really feels bad to be a human being in this era, right? But that's not all. That's a lot of difference coming in. Now we would be going through these documents, which is from central banks. Now this is actually KPMG putting this one out, showing the different perspectives. Now, why is that important? Because it has a lot of different stuff which you need to understand. What are the competitive pressures currently in the market? What is the value of a central bank digital currency for central banks in their system? Now, when you look at these, you are going to get detailed information of where we are going. Now, we'll go through their own document previously showing, what really is changing and from last 2-3 years, how it has been. What are they predicting for the future of the payment system? And then they're on other document showing you digitalization in treasury. Okay, this is just a word, Ripple, not Ripple the company. Ripple is going through the treasury, but in the same document, when you come through and start to read it, you will understand one stuff. The word which they put at the top just as Ripple, okay, cool, but at the bottom when you start here, innovative startups such as Ripple. So words are chosen wisely in these kind of documents. We will go through that. We will read where they are being used, what they are looking at towards Ripple the company and the technology which they are using. Now, it's not only about Ripple the company, it's also about the technology. When you come here, you'll read this, the created amount of Ripple coins. So that's XRP, which is Ripples, right? We'll go through that. Then we have other documents which we need to go, because in one document, when you go through, you will see India and Philippines being put out, based on central banks. That's the direction. But when you come towards June 2020, you get this from Ripple Insights showing what's going on in India. Then you jump into IMF. Now, when you actually go through that document after searching and taking it out, you kind of get different perspectives, right? So now, for us, we would be actually focusing more on the page number 30 part here. Examples of official monetary units are dollar in USA, all those fiat currencies. And then when you come to the bottom, this is shown here. Non-official quasi-monetary units. That's BTC, Ether, XRP, which are not established by law. So you have to understand the governments, international governments, or the supranational organizations like IMF is looking at this in such a manner. BTC, Ether, XRP, it's all kind of, non-security assets, which is, for them, non-official quasi-monetary units. Now, when we talk about all this in the macroeconomic situation, this is literally happening, right? We started saying this. You need basic income, and universal basic income is going to come in soon. Now, why is that? Here, now, Elon Musk is kind of a technology guy. He's an engineer. He looks at technology, development, future, and how we can change the world. Okay, that's cool, innovative from his end. But what really happens is at the same time, you're having a financial infrastructure change. There is a lot of innovations in fintech as well. So while we look at this, we need to understand the entire macroeconomic situation if we are in this market to make money. So looking at the general crypto market, this is what you actually see. Bitcoin is 1% up in 24 hours and 5% up in a week. Now, what is really happening here? Some says, okay, the market is going to go down. Some says it's going to go up. And the market kind of show you like on a 7-day time frame, we are actually moving up majority, right? So that's not a bad deal. Now, to get a correct perspective, in my opinion, I would take two return rates. What was happening in last year? Quarter, 30 days and 7 days. The market is still having that momentum. The market is still moving up. And if you look back here, we are near to that $1.5 trillion mark. Now, what do we actually have to understand? Technically, different stuff. I'm trying to highlight the supports here. Each time when we were actually coming down, the price was making a lower low. Afterwards, it changed. The trend changed. We were moving to the other side. Look at the RSI and the MACD. It kind of shows you that divergence, right? We are moving to the upside. We were having a different trend. But now, yeah, majority would say, okay, let's first look at Bitcoin because it's the driving force. It kind of decides the direction of market. Now, even though, at some point I have different opinion, I would kind of look at this in such a manner. See, on March 5th, when I put this chart out, I was actually expecting this to happen. So if I'm going into that chart, this is what I see. Say $48,000. We were kind of there, and I was kind of talking, the possibilities are like, the RSI can actually go down and then bounce because the MACD was about to cross to the downside at that point in time. Now, if you look at the chart right now you have to understand that we are looking at this stuff and the RSI came down. It's bouncing. If you zoom in, you can see that it's bouncing to the upside. So that's not actually a bad deal. Now, on the same day when we were moving to the downside and we reached a bottom and we were kind of slowing down, I put this one out for my patrons. Nearing the support, right? So the RSI still had some way go to the downside and the MACD has to round and cross to the upside. So these are technical indicators. Now, this is Bitcoin dominance chart. When you're looking at that, you can see a possibility. Now, this is not confirmed yet, right? As far as I see this, okay, you got a shoulder, you got a head, you need a shoulder more and come here and break this. Now, that pattern for me is a bullish pattern. It's an inverse head and shoulder. Now, yeah, looking at the macro perspective, not everyone may agree, but that's what I see. Anyway, this long wick which we had previously, we discussed through that, what was happening in the supply and demand side of it, right? Beyond the price action, beyond the patterns, we talked about the economics behind that. Now, when you're looking at this, you had a green candle. We went back to this moving average. Now, remember, this is on a weekly and the 50-day moving average there is important. We came back down because we couldn't go up and close that candle there. We came down, so we are moving down. So the possibility remains for 58% here. Right now we are at 60. So if that's to happen, then yeah, we can actually assume that this pattern is going to play out. Now that's on the Bitcoin dominant side of it. If you just jump into the other side of the market, which is the altcoin market, this is what I personally see. The altcoin market is kind of bouncing. You remember when I showed you this, I told you there is a possibility that we are getting into this support zone. We may bounce. Now look at the RSI. Look at the MACD. Did we talk about this? Yes, we did. Now, what's the next probability which you are looking at? We can still move towards the close of this candle, this green, and then the open of this one. So that's kind of the resistance level which you are looking at. If the price manages to break above that, that's a continuation pattern which you're going to get here, right? Continuation patterns are in different way you'll get. Now, it depends whether you are getting that on a support or a resistance. You do have to understand, if you are getting it just below the resistance in a bull market, that's kind of, I won't actually, at least I won't rely on that as a bullish indicator, whereas this one, if that happens, it's a bullish indicator for me. Now, coming back to the XRP chart, what does this actually mean, right? This particular level, the previous resistance, is kind of acting as a support. But right now, if I actually go into that particular chart, into the real-time chart, and then look at this like this, okay, if I put a horizontal line, if I take a horizontal line and drop it here, where this candle closed, this candle opened, and this candle closed, and this candle opened, that's like, long-term support line. If you go move back and see, was resistance here, was support here, was acting as a resistance here. So, throughout that particular range is effective. So you are kind of having that 41 as support. So for 0.1 cents there, 0.41 cents, it's cool. Now that's actually working. Now yeah, we'll actually have to understand whether this is a M or the double top, right? Now for that double top to happen, this is your neckline, which is the bottom of 0.2, and the price has to go beyond that to the downside to confirm that trend. So at least when I see these bottoms which are rising, I personally don't think that's a possibility. But yes, the chart says 5% chance is there. So you can't actually neglect that when the chart is saying that, right? Now, you step in and then look at the chart. When we were doing this pattern from this particular time, we were following it, right? August. We were going through that. We told the possibility of the price going down. Then while we were here, I told you we may move up. But yes, it took like September, October and November to consolidate there and pump to the upside. Now, you have to understand, the longer we wait, the higher we go. You have to understand, if you are looking at a high-rise building, it needs piling to that depth to support it. If you are looking at a long tree, it needs roots to go well down so that it can grow to the upside. Same stuff here, just an example, right? So in the same sense, when you are looking at this, we came up, now we got a correction, we came back to the moving average, which is the 50-day moving average here. Then we are bouncing. So that's actually a positive stuff. And this particular candle, 3-day, it hasn't closed yet. Now, even if it closes on red, if you get the next candle, say something like this, you remember when we did this, I told there is a possibility that we may go to the upside because buying pressure was there till here. So at least we'll go and retest that. And yes, we did. So something similar. We can actually go back, retest this level, which is 0.7. And if we manage to break that, the next level would be 0.9 towards $1. Why is that? The RSI suggests so. The RSI is showing you are in this pattern. If you break out here, the next resistance level is at the top here. So that is significant if you are looking in a technical manner. Now, yeah, the same stuff I actually informed my patrons that this is a possibility, and if you are a holder, you know, at least in my opinion, now I can't be wrong, right? I'm a human being, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm holding on to this particular asset because I believe this is going to play out. Now, this is a daily chart here. And this is what I can see. We are bouncing. We had correction. We can still move to the upside. So these are stuff which you have to look at constantly. Now, different opportunities we post. Say, for example, this one. And we actually move towards there. You see the comment here? We actually went to that target 2 in a hurry. So, you know, that happens most of the time. You post a chart and you think it may take 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or even 2 months to reach that target. Like I post a lot of different charts, right? And sometimes what just happens, in a week or 2, these assets kind of move towards their targets. So that's kind of, you know, something surprising, but that does happen in a bull market. Now, as we talked about Bitcoin in its RSI, similar trend can be observed here in XRP USD on a daily, right? When you try to connect the bottom here, you get this, and the top is something like this. So in this bull pennant, now, okay, if you want to actually delete all of those stuff and just imagine there is a bull pennant here after we made this particular pattern. So if we are going to do this, that's bullish. But remember, last time we did something like this, we had an issue, right? We were inside a bullish pennant, but we broke to the downside. We came back, retested, but we went all the way down because of SEC. That news pushed us down. Right now, the news coming out in the market is actually bullish for Ripple, the company, right? We are looking at positive news all the way. So if you are to say we are going to get through this, that's the right attitude as far as I understand. Now, guys, I would also like to say this stuff happens every time. In a market, manipulation will always be there. You are watching the Scientific Investor Family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. We kind of try to give you guys an idea what's really happening in the market, and that did follow. If you look at these videos, you'll understand what we tried to put out did happen. Now, it's not only once or twice. This is happening in the market because previously we talked about that, then we bounced, we gave you that idea. Similarly, if we are looking at the market, you can see a lot of difference. So on the macro perspective, think if this is really happening, literally everything is going to change. Now, if you're someone who just want to, you know, use the basic income and then live on that one, okay, it's completely up to you. But if you're here understanding that the inflation is hitting you hard, your purchasing power is going down, and you need to make money, and you are an investor here, you need to definitely understand these stuff, right? Now, for example, when I am actually taking you guys into this particular document, from the top to the bottom, it's really important. Now it's 10 pages. We don't have time to go through that completely. But remember, central bank digital currencies, rise of the digital currency and the future money is the title. And it's Feb 2021. It's a new document, right? So we are using others as supportive documents which came out previously, October 2019. And when you go through this, yeah, I actually read that, why they are going to use it and what their perspective is about in XRP, right? So first, let's look at this latest document. central bank digital currencies have taken center stage in the current situation. What they are looking at is blockchain and distributed ledger adoption. Now, one of the main important stuff I understood after reading this stuff is they kind of give you that idea in next 6 to 12 months, you are gonna get a lot more adoption rate in this. Remember, this is a report coming from KPMG after working with central banks, saying that in a year you're going to see lot more adoption from central banks. They are looking at different stuff. Over the next 6 to 12 months, we expect to see that these events occur slowly. Wow. Now, what are they talking about here? They're talking about global outlook. Now, who are they working with? They are working with organizations and think tanks like World Economic Forum. We went through their report, what they talked about Ripple and XRP. Now you understand that clearly, right? Now you go through the entire document, you kind of get a lot of different perspective. They're talking about Libra here. They're talking about money transfer and precisely cross-border payments. It's really important for them, as they don't even want to, look at different stuff and say this is pre-funded. In different documents, when you go through that, you kind of get, towards a point, say, I think it was actually page number 25 or 30. Let's actually see that. So yeah, here you can read this. I don't know whether it's clear for you guys. I'll just zoom in a little bit. In longer term, cryptocurrency is out there too. Distributed ledger technology is only now starting to become better known, with Facebook coming out with Libra, for example, right? So for a common man out there, this technology is coming out. Now, you look at this. It is trending towards digital exchange of value as well as digital identity. You see digital being used particularly in India and China. In developed economies such as in United States, it's still a journey, but there is an inexorable move towards more digitalization. So what you are looking at right now is complete digitalization, right? It's not only in one area of payment, it's going to be in there for everything. Often by regulatory mandate into making huge infrastructure investments without the benefit of understanding the emerging customer needs and opportunities reflected by the innovation of bonding payments. So whatever the scenario is, everything comes and end in payment. And right now we are talking about ISO 20022 financial infrastructure, and this is changing. Why? Because you're not only talking about one type of payment here, you're talking about a lot of different stuff. So as you go through this, say maybe here you actually read this stuff. Now imagine you're looking at countries like Philippines or India. Now for India, I just showed you, right? Now when you read this, fund these payments in real time rather than pre-funding days in advance. Remember, this is coming from Marcus from Ripple. Okay, fine, but this is a report published by KPMG. So that's after, they do all the research and get the idea. Recently, they come out with this one. So if you are literally looking at these kind of fundamentals for next 6 months towards 12 months, what's really going to happen, right? You're actually looking at this stuff. Now, yeah, it's easy to actually go into the altcoin market cap, zoom out and look what you're expecting the altcoin to do. What are the different patterns which you actually see? Now, yeah, this is a daily chart. You still see long-term perspective, but if you want to, you can actually look at this in a different way, in 3-day chart, weekly chart, depending upon how you want to view it. But all of the story says the same theme, right? You came down. Now understand the impulsive move here is to the upside. You corrected a little bit, you went up, then you corrected after the third wave day, right? So that's cool, that's functional. Now you got double bottom here, you're going up, you're retesting this. Now if you actually look at the macro perspective here, you will definitely understand that the altcoin market cap is bullish. It's showing you that rounded top when the RSI is bottoming in that trend and moving up. Now, the common misunderstanding here is you enter into any coin, you make profit in that time period, short to medium, medium to long. That depends upon your personal strategy. But do you actually see these? Some are in green, some are in red. Now, it depends on which you enter, which asset you enter, where you align your portfolio, how you position yourself in this market depending upon your fundamental and technical analysis. So if you are saying that if it's a bull market, you can make money in every asset, that's cool if it works for you in that way. But at least as far as I understand, the majority are not doing that. If that was so easy, everyone would be rich right now. Why? You go back, you look at this from the bottom of the market cycle. Just take and measure this and say what happened. Till here, it went 1600%. That's 16x, right? So if someone had to trade this from the bottom, he would have at least, say he didn't get the exact top or the bottom, he got 10x. That's not a short stuff. That's a big deal considering the time frame, right? We started after that March crash, we went and did 10x in a year. That's not a bad deal. That's not a small deal, right? So if you actually made 10x of your portfolio without knowing anything, entering into random 10 assets in the altcoin market, that's great for you. But at least not everyone happened to do that. There are guys who are losing consistently because they didn't understand the market. They didn't actually know which asset to be in. So these are something you have to consider, and that's why I kind of try to give my followers, say, this is the pattern which I see. So there is a possibility that this asset can do this, right? And afterwards, when I get a message, say in some time, it took like around a couple of days, and it was like not a couple of days, it's a week, around a week, and then we reached there. So yeah, sometimes it happens in a week, but sometimes it takes 2 to 3 months. Now we were following our calls, different opinions, but the final suggestion there is 25 towards 50-60 days, 78 to 80% of our calls are reaching the target. As a human being, I'm happy about that because I'm not a bot to make 100% of the calls right. But still, 80% means cool. You trade 8 positions, you make cool profits. Now, you enter 10 position, 2 of them will fail. Yeah, of course. Now, if you enter only 1 or 2 trade, now your probability of losing is higher. And that's why majority of those who trade that 10 calls completely make profits eventually. Right? In 2 months, 2.5 months, we reach the target, they take out the profit, then realign their portfolio in a different asset, which has that probability. Now, if you want these kind of updates for different assets in your portfolio, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description. I hope you guys received value for your time. And if you really did, please support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.